The following episode is brought to you by Poison City Brewing, proud makers of Durban Poison Cannabis Lager, the beer that invites you to live your poison. Guys, I think we can get started.
Yeah, cool.
I have been recording. So yeah, guys, it's another episode of Sludge Underground podcast, and I'm with a very exciting band here. A couple of the guys actually met them a while back when Short Straw was playing in Belito, and yeah, it's, you know, we've been trying to make plans and just things haven't been lining up, but we finally here. In the darkness, load shedding, at the Burlesque, you know, before their show at Desmond and the Tutus. I'm gonna let the guys introduce themselves, and we're just gonna take it from there. A couple of other homies here as well. You guys are here as well, man. So we're also gonna get you guys involved. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's go for it.
I'm Joel and I play drums and I'm the Stoke man in the band.
Super.
I'm Ricky, I play the bass guitar and I'd like to believe I'm the Stoke man in the band.
I'm Eric and I play the electric guitar and vocalist and I support Stoke City.
Sweet. Alright. Homies aside, who are you guys? Introduce yourselves quickly.
Hey, I'm Kwesi and I support Chelsea. You know what I mean?
I support Chelsea as well. We lost today, dude.
Next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Ryan and I support Man United.
Yo, that's crazy. Listen, you know, before we get into the band stuff, why Stoke City? I need to get that out of the way. Like, if you're for real.
No, it's just because they said they're the Stoke guys, so I thought it would be funny. I don't even watch soccer.
Killed it. Okay, guys. Yeah, so, yeah, bro, we were speaking just now, you know, before the interview started, and you were telling me that you guys, you know, you have been South Wolves for about 3 years now, but playing together as you know what you guys are now has been a little over a year and whatnot. And, you know, just walk me through, you know, the very beginning of South Wolves before it got to what it is now. Anyone can answer this. I mean, there's three of you, so anyone who's well equipped to answer it can go for it.
Oh, I mean, it never used to be South Wolves. It started off as Bandit Brothers. Like Bandit, like the bad guys. It was just myself and Joel, and I used to play the acoustic guitar, and Joel used to play the drums. And then we decided, you know what, it actually sounds pretty bad without bass. So I taught Ricky how to play bass because I'm a true bassist by nature.
Before then, I never knew how to play an instrument. He taught me how to play my first instrument because he's like, "Yo, we skate together, we hang out every weekend. You want to play bass?" I was like, okay. But yeah, no, I love it. Carry on, sorry, bro.
And then we actually became Instamatic because we got a different guitarist and he used to bust these crazy solos, Reese Gendron. And then he moved to Oz, so then I had to take on the soloship of these crazy guitar scales and stuff like that. So we just decided to restructure everything, and then we named ourselves South Wolves. And then, Ricky was in the band at that time. And then our first single released was Wait. And it was kind of not really as vibey as we are now, but more of a kind of progressive kind of indie rock type vibe.
And you say something important there, bro. You say that, you know, you wasn't really as vibey as you are now. So what kind of music are you guys doing now for anyone who hasn't really heard the stuff that you're doing?
Like indie rock and roll, bro. Dancey, like for me on drums, I try to keep the drums as dancey as possible. We feed off crowds, so we want the crowd off their feet in front of us, in their face, and we want to be in their face as well. Like if you come to our live shows, you'll see there's like lots of different elements that we put into our shows where we really try to interact with the crowd and like get into the crowd with them. Ricky's just bought a longer bass cable so that he can go further into the crowd and play.
Personally, my favorite thing is crowd surfing. Like, I never thought I'd be that type of guy. I was always the bassist sitting there with his notebook with all the chords in front of him, like, halfway through, oh crap, it's the wrong song. Okay. But now they've helped me come out my shell, and now I love going balls to the walls. But like, as well, coming back to like the type of music we play and the type of music we want to bring out is like original stuff. Like, you can hear certain influences throughout our music, like Bombay Bicycle Club, Foals, Death Cab, but yet again, those artists on their own are artists that only people who like indie music and alternative music will know them. So we really want to try to bring out a new type of like feel and vibe to the music in SA. I feel like there's not enough like live music anymore, like bands. There's a lot of solo artists, respect to them, but we want that whole band culture to come back.
Yeah.
And we're willing to like really fight for it, you know? Because it's like we grew up watching bands. We grew up sneaking into live underage just so we could watch a band. Like, oh my gosh, bro, look at them. But yeah, it's like we're trying our best to make like a dance indie like rock culture.
That's very beautiful. And you know, for me personally, you know, 1 year I'm just chilling, whatever. Next thing I see, you know, Altfest, you guys are there. You guys are playing and flipping fucking Belito, opening up for Short Straw. You guys are playing, you're opening up for, you know, Desmond and all these big bands. I mean, you guys literally, you know, just came out of nowhere and you guys are really doing well for yourselves. So when you guys sort of formed this and became the trio that you are now, did you guys sort of expect that you guys would have the kind of traction that you guys have gotten at this stage of your guys' band?
I don't know, I'm going to take this one. Personally for myself, I never thought it would get to this level. Like, as well, it's also, for the general public, it's like oh wow, we're overnight thing. Wow, South Wolves is a thing now. But for us, it's been years of practicing, years of stuffing up, years of playing in bars where they don't even pay you, they give you burger and chips as a payment. So it's been a long time coming, and it's always like waiting for that break. And then like we felt this year was like kind of that release of pressure. We were like, oh my word, we're starting to get big shows, we're starting to get recognized. So I guess in that aspect it was like an overnight type of feeling for us. But I mean, there's only one way up, and I think we're really climbing up that ladder, so it's cool. I don't know if I answered the question, but
is that sort of how you guys sort of all generally feel?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like, how it started was just what's a good way to, like, you know, if you've had a shit day, what's a good way to just get all of those feelings out? Like, we make some music, like, we just stuff around, band practice on a Monday night, on a Friday night, like a Sunday morning, whenever you want that release. Like, we'll just call a band practice, and then we get together. Like, we've grown up together. This is my brother, this is my best friend. We've known each other for 15 years maybe. Wow. So it was always just, you know, just let's get together and have a little party with the three of us. But it's really cool now that people are actually coming to our shows and starting to recognize that, okay, these are so, like, they're serious, they make cool music. Let's go to their shows, let's listen to them. So that's really cool, but I wouldn't say that's something we expected. Not this soon, at least.
Yeah, and I also just want to now look at sort of your name, guys. You know, South Wolves. Yo, where does it come from?
I think this is a question like we kind of like struggle to answer sometimes, because people are expecting like this amazing explanation, and then it's like, okay, that makes perfect sense. But I think our name doesn't really make that much sense. I think it has a really cool ring to it. So it's the South part comes from the fact that we're from the South Coast. So that's where we get the South from. And then wolves, we just basically how we explain the wolf part is that like wolves are really intimidating creatures, and they are ruthless, and they do what is necessary to like take the next step. And like you really have to be like that in the music industry, especially in SA. Like you just have to just keep on going, you know, like take everything in your stride. So that's where the wolf part comes in.
And how much of, you know, the sound that you guys have now would you say you owe to maybe when you guys were called Bandit Brothers? I mean, was it more or less sort of, is that where sort of the sound or the core of the sound basically comes from? Like, you know, dive into that a bit.
I would say a lot of the songs that we write now probably originate from those kind of basic songs we write. But a lot has changed over the years. I mean, like the songs we used to write back then were more mellow because it was an acoustic band. So it was more listening music, whereas now the songs we write, we try and make the lyrics catchy and simple, and try and get the audience to engage with us, and to try and we want to get to a place where we play a song and the crowd can sing it afterwards, or at least sing the bridge of the song after we've just played it for the first time.
Yeah.
So that, it really stands out. Whereas the songs we played before were kind of, I don't want to say mundane and boring and that, but
Almost too complicated.
yeah, I think maybe we're trying to overcomplicate everything. We literally just wrote a song with like 2 chords the other day, and it's quite a hit. So I think that's
No, that makes a lot of sense, Brad. You did mention just now that you guys are from, the South Coast and stuff. And, when I think of the South Coast and I think of, the music scene and how it's sort of all happening in sort of Durban, CBD area and whatnot, how are you guys sort of handling coming from the South Coast, as a band? Are there any difficulties that you guys are coming across having to, live, so sort of like on the side of where everything is sort of happening? Or would you say that it's maybe an advantage in some way? Like, let us in on that a bit.
Yeah, I think there's kind of like, so we're actually from a Mams and Toti, right? So when you get on stage in front of a Durban crowd, like CBD Durban, and you say, we are South Wolves, we are from a Mams and Toti, it's almost like immediately the ears turn off. But then, I'd say that's like the majority of the people in the crowd. They're like, oh, these oaks are from Toti, they're dodgy, they're not going to be making cool music or whatever. But then I guess it is an advantage as well. There's some people who are like, oh, they're from Toti, I've never heard of them. Maybe they're cool, let me give them a listen. So.
Yeah, that's what, like, for myself, like, advantages coming from such a small coastal town is like, you're not always in everyone's face. It's like, oh, I'm not staying in town, I'm not in Durban, I'm not always on social media where everyone can see me, I'm not always at the cool coffee shops. So like when people come out and watch you, they want to come and watch you. So like for that makes me stoked. I'm like, not everybody always gets to engage with me on like my musical level. So now when people do come out, you're like, yo, they actually came out to watch us tonight. That makes me so stoked, and that always makes me play a lot better. So I think that's a cool advantage, but like disadvantages is just venue space.
Yeah.
The club scene is still really hard in Durban. It went through a really hard clubbing phase, like nightlife, and live music went down as that progressed up. So now I've got a feeling it's starting to come back to a plateau. A lot of the guys that used to do heavy clubbing in my friend circle are talking about how they miss live music and how they want us to play more shows. And like that's also what's cool about venues like Burlesque. We never knew about this place until we played here. And now it's like a recurring thing. And also with places like Pablo Honey, it's like live music's being played there now. And I think the hipster younger generation and culture appreciate that, because it's like, now I don't have to listen to a band on my cell phone anymore. I can go watch a band. So the disadvantages are we don't have a lot of places like that, but when you do find a place, you really appreciate it.
No, that's really special. And with Joel, you did mention that you guys are brothers, right? And how is sort of at home, how they're sort of receiving you guys sort of making South Wolves such like a priority and making it a success? Do you guys have support back home? And also you as well, bro, like how are your people back home? Are they sort of supporting the movement and whatnot? Because some people you might find they make music, and at home people are like, I don't want you making music, go be a doctor, whatever the situation may be. How is the situation at home with you guys?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. So my dad actually taught Eric how to play guitar, bass guitar. So he's a very keen musician. So he's always like just, if say we're playing a show tonight, he's like really stoked for us. He's very happy about it. Going back to the other question you said about like coming from a small town like Toti and making music, one thing that is definitely an advantage is like the people get behind you, like, because you are from Toti, you're representing Toti. Like, there's this band from Toti playing with Short Straw, playing with Desmond and the Tutus, and they're like,
get behind that.
That's awesome. So that's a really cool thing. But yeah, our parents have always been very supportive.
And with you sort of your lyrical content, what goes into that when you guys are writing songs? What do you mainly talk about?
I think a lot of our songs are about relationships, kind of breakups, people being in love, in and out of love. We've only started really kind of wanting to write about other things that are kind of, not more important in life, but like the real meaning of life, because relationships can end. Relationships are kind of can be meaningless after a while. So we want to try and write about the actual, real, important things of life.
Yeah,
Like,
kind of reach out to more people, you know, because it's like you kind of get sick and tired of hearing, like, I wouldn't say they love songs, but you kind of get tired of hearing songs about love and about relationships. So like Eric was saying, we definitely do want to start writing more music that touches onto different, like, social constructs and things that affect people emotionally. You know, it's like, it's not always about, oh, this girl broke my heart, oh, this guy broke my heart, oh, I love you. It's like, man, I really like a cheeseburger. I can write some metaphorical shit about a cheeseburger, you know? And like, food is good, so so yeah, we really want to branch out into that, like writing more music so more ears can listen in the long run.
I think also something we've been speaking about lately as well is, like, if you look across the board, not just in SA, international music, what are people actually, like, writing music about? What does their music stand for? Like, I feel like these days music is lacking that substance, you know. Like in the 70s, rock and roll was all about, like, anti-war, anti-establishment, and it was not just a music genre, it was a cultural movement.
Yeah, it was a movement.
So we want to, like, find what are the issues what is society facing, and how can we address those issues through our music to inspire other people to address those issues as well. So yeah, it's hard to, like, draw away from the love songs and stuff because that's easy to write about. But I think, we want to transition more into, like, you know, addressing some serious social issues.
And what would you guys say is sort of your favorite song, your favorite Southpaw song that you guys have written yourselves, and why?
I'd probably say this new song that we're going to play tonight. It's called, I don't know, right now it's labeled Coffee. But I think the name could change, the structure could change a bit. But I mean, this is one of the first songs that I feel like it sounds different to what we usually play. But at the same time, when we play it, it feels really gelled and really clicked in. Like, the emotion is there. So I'd say right now that's my favorite song. But otherwise, probably Dear Love, that's also a really cool track. Yeah, you can answer the next one.
I think at the moment, I would say a song called Moonlight is my favorite song at the moment. Simply because what we're talking about now, it's not about a relationship, it's about just losing yourself and kind of doing whatever you want, kind of getting lost in the moonlight, dancing and stuff like that. And it's a really, really up in your face kind of song, and it's got a cool breakdown in it and everything like that. So I don't know, at the moment I'm kind of liking that vibe.
Yeah, same, not bad there.
Joel, you as well?
Yeah, I'd have to say also, I was going to say Moonlight as well, mainly just because of, like, there's so many different elements that go into that song. Where a lot of our songs are, like, very simple, like verse, bridge, chorus, end of the song. This is, like, there's so many, like, different little technical aspects, but not in the sense that we're overcomplicating it, but just in the sense that it's got some flavor now, you know. Yeah.
And you guys, earlier you mentioned some really big names there that you guys have played along. I don't even want to say you guys opened with them. You actually played alongside those bands because you guys are really that good. So tell me about your experience, you know, that first time when you guys, we did speak a bit, you know, behind the scenes. You guys have played alongside Desmond, you have played alongside Short Straw and whatever. So when it comes to, say, Short Straw, because we've also had them on the podcast as well in the past, some really cool guys, you guys mentioned that. How was that whole experience? Because I'm pretty sure, like, I myself, you know, when I was growing up in high school and everything, I used to look up to those guys and be like, damn, these guys are really cool, like, they're awesome. So how was it sort of, you know, playing with these people? Like, you're no longer sort of looking up to them, but they're now like your peers. So how was that whole experience?
I think for me, it was really awesome. Like, when the first time we opened for Short Straw, I went up to the drummer because he was, like, asking me about my setup and stuff when we were doing soundcheck. And I was like, bro, I literally used to go to house parties and party to your music. And, like, here I am now opening for you. Like, this is such a privilege. And that made him, like, he was, like, so stoked. And I just get that feel from the rest of the entire band as well. They just so stoked on up and coming artists. They're so stoked on the SA music scene, and they very accommodating, very friendly guys. Like, we still in contact with them on Instagram. Like, we chat to them often. If we have questions, we ask for advice, they reply to us, which is really cool. And like, up and coming bands need that like big brother support.
Like, I can fully like back that. Like, we've grown up, like I said earlier, sneaking into venues just to watch these guys like solely, and like always going to Splashy and being like, guys, we need to be at main stage, Short Straw's playing, we need to be here, these guys are playing. And it's like, my initial thought was like, okay, they're big artists, they're not going to want to talk to us, they're going to set up their thing, go backstage and chill. I went up to them and like my first like words to them, like, bro, I snuck into live just to watch you. You're like one of my musical heroes. And he laughed and he's like, gave me a hug. He's like, dude, thank you so much. You don't understand. You just made my evening. And I was like, like the playing field was leveled there. And I was like, that's really cool. And like Joel said, it's like up and coming bands need that big brother relationship. They need mentors and artists who have made it to look up to and find advice from. Because like for me, the music industry at this stage is a very like confusing, like misguided place. You don't know where to go. There's no real path and direction to set yourself on. You're like, okay, we need to play, we need to make music, but where, how, like who do we reach out to? And like things like getting your music like certified and stuff, like stuff we didn't know about. Like you need to sign up with Samra, you need to sign up with like CD Baby, you need to do this X, Y, and Z just to get it on Apple Music alone. And we were like, what a hack. Like to have somebody who's done it before to be like, yo, there's an easier way. Like bands need that. And once that's like established in our music industry and our like genre of music, I think there'll be a really big upgrowth, just because purely you know what you're doing now because somebody's helped you. But man, big shout out to Short Straw. Those guys are such a big inspiration. We're literally looking at a penis they drew. It's beautiful. So,
yeah, that's really dope. And you know, of the shows that you guys have played to date, which would you say was your sort of your favorite and why?
I think opening for Short Straw, at Burlesque, they really brought a big crowd out. And those people were here for indie music. We're an indie band, and they really took to us. So we had a joy that night. That was awesome.
Even for myself, I think the Short Straw gig was probably like one of my biggest and like most proud moments as a musician. But my most favorite gig ever is in this small bar down the south coast called Drums and Roses. That was, excuse my language, a shit show of a show, but I've never played my heart out so hard on like a 2x2 meter stage. I crowd surfed there as well. So I was happy. That's been my favorite show though. But the Short Straw show is definitely one of my most proudest moments for sure.
And you, bro?
I would agree with Ricky on that show, Drums and Roses, because right at the end of the night we played a Johnny Clegg song, and like a couple of months later, couple of months before that, he obviously passed away, and it was just such a special moment for the South African music kind of industry. Everyone sang along, and it was just a beautiful South African moment. So I was like, yo. But opening for Short Story was also amazing. I remember we were playing at another venue in Florida Road called the Charlatan, and we got a message on Instagram saying, hey, do you guys want to open for Short Straw? They're playing here. And we were like, yo, we couldn't believe it. We were like, what the heck?
We thought it was a joke.
Yeah, we thought it was a joke, and it was just such an amazing feeling getting that message and seeing that people were actually noticing us. And then...
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy because it's not like you guys are the ones that approached them. Like, you guys got a message and we're sort of invited to go. That's incredible. And obviously tonight, by the time I drop this event that you guys are playing with Desmond is going to have happened. But when it comes to sort of future gigs and whatnot, what do you guys have lined up, and what can the people sort of expect in general from a South Wolves, performance? I know we can expect some crowd surfing, but what else can we sort of expect from you guys when it comes to the live aspects of things?
We just finished recording our EP. Nice. So it's a 5-track EP. Should be coming out in like mid-January. So we're gonna have an EP launch for that, and we're not sure which bands yet, but we'll have a few bands around for that. Have a big party down the coast. So yeah, look out for the EP. We're gonna drop a couple music videos along with that as well. And in terms of gigs, like we don't really have a lot happening. We kind of like just go with the flow. Like some months we have gigs, some months we don't have gigs. So if anyone's listening to this and they want to book us, we are South Wolves. That's our Instagram. Hit us up.
No, that's really dope. And yeah, you know, since you guys, you know, you do say you go with the flow, whatever, when it comes to performances and stuff, I want us to focus a bit on that EP you were talking about. You cannot drop a bomb that size and we just let it go like that. So get into the EP. You said it was how many tracks? 5 tracks?
Yeah.
So what is it about? Drop us a name. Give us an exclusive. The people are excited. Let us know what it's about, you know, just talk about it. Let us in on it, you know, the vibes, how the vibes were when you guys were recording it. Is it done? You know, if you guys have anyone that was helping you out, it's like, just let us know. I'm really excited to sort of, you know, get into that there.
I'll take that.
Yeah, you'll take it.
Right. So the EP's name is called Nothing Good Happening at 2 a.m. And it's from one of our favorite songs called Suitcase. And one of the lines is obviously Nothing Good Happening at 2 a.m. And yeah, I mean, the EP is just 5 songs of 5 of our favorite songs that have kind of stuck around for the years. Songs that we haven't scrapped. We've scrapped a lot of songs and we just never got back into them just because they haven't worked out. But I think these 5 songs have been true to us. They've stuck around for the past 5 years. And they're really, really good songs to play around with. And Bryn Scott, our brother, he's also a drummer and he's producing the song, so he's helped us a lot with the studio and piecing together all the songs. And then they'll obviously get it mixed and mastered, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. But we're done recording everything. So
yeah,
far.
that was for me. That was an experience, like not coming from an academic musical background, literally coming from Eric teaching me how to play bass, and then my best friend Jason teaching me how to play acoustic guitar, and then like merging those two. Now all of a sudden you're going into a professional environment, like a studio environment where you need to play with click track and everything needs to be perfect. For me that was like a very like daunting like experience, like it needs to be on par. But at the same time we got the hang of click and recording like quite easily, and that like gave us such good reassurance, like your music is something we can do. And just like I think those days in the studios are days I'll never forget, like going out, having a rally, stuffing around, laughing at Eric, Joel laughing at me, like, oh, you stuffed up, you suck at bass, bro. It's like, oh, doing the same song like 20 times. It's like, it's such a cool experience. And like, if I could record music every day, I think I would. But yeah, like Eric says, it's just been a mashup of all our favorite songs. And I think we can't wait to release the next one once this one's dropped. I think it's definitely a snowball effect from here on. It's just going to get bigger and better.
Yeah, for sure.
Joel, you mentioned music videos there, bro. You know, how many music videos are you guys dropping? And just let us in, like, have you guys shot any yet, or are they still yet to be sort of shot?
Okay, so we haven't shot anything yet. But
We're a little bit lazy.
So Ricky he's actually like a full-time photographer. What? On the side. We'll say full-time on the side. So he has like some good connections for music videos. So we're really keen. We've discussed like concepts and stuff, but they're not quite there yet. So once we have them finalized, we'll get into actually filming and stuff. We want to drop a music video for each song, because we feel like each song deserves a music video and deserves that, like, what's the word? Like that kind of interpretation of the song as well. So yeah, we haven't recorded anything yet, but hopefully we will release a music video for each song. But if not, definitely at least 3 music videos.
No, really looking forward to that, guys. And yeah, you know, with that being said, I really feel like I've learned a lot about you guys, and I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to sort of come through and have this chat with you guys. Like you were saying earlier, bro, if people want to book you guys and stuff, give us your handles. And also, bro, like, in case someone is interested in some photography there, you know, you can punt you can punt your you can definitely punch your page in there as well. You know, if people want to book you guys, if people want to follow you on social media, find your tracks online, you know, where do we go?
So we have I think we have 2 music videos out on YouTube already. A song called Wait and one song called Midnight Youth from like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Then we have a single out at the moment called Light Up. That's everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music. And then our EP as well will be Spotify, Apple Music, all over. And yeah, the music videos for that will be probably exclusively only on YouTube, just to bump the views up. Yeah. And if you want to book us, our Instagram is @WeAreSouthWolves. Our Facebook is, I think the tag is South Wolves Band. We don't have Twitter. Don't look for us on Twitter, you won't find us. Or you can, just DM us. That's the best way to do it. We'll get right back to you.
We'll give you a
Within
phone
5
number
minutes.
from there. And then a little advert by myself. My photography handle is @pavement_special. You checked it out, yeah. So right now, I used to be an electrician while studying to be one, and then I did my appy. Didn't enjoy that, and one friend was like, "Bro, quit your job, become a photographer. You're good." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." Sorry for swearing. So now this year marks a full year of being a full-time photographer for myself. But don't let the 1 year being full-time like discourage you. I'm really good. So if you want to book me, shoot me a DM. My email address is also pavementspecial.ra@gmail.com. And yeah, I'd love to capture the image you're looking for.
That is clean. Guys, before I let you go, I just, I'm obviously going to make a request that we close out with one of your tracks. But before we get to that, just one final segment, something that I really like to ask the bands and the people that come through here is sort of from an individual perspective, right? So I'm going to be asking you, Joel, bro, what do you enjoy most about working with both the homies here? Like, what sort of element do you enjoy, taking from each, artist?
I think the best element is probably like, when I wouldn't say it's just one element, it's like a combination of everything.
Yeah.
Like one of our songs on the EP, Suitcase, like we all came up with the bridge together. We're like sitting and we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And we're like, why don't we come up with something that rhymes and that's like really catchy? So we sat there and we came up with a line, and the line is, pull up your socks and meet me there. I've worn your shoes and now we square. And like one of the coolest things ever is now, like when we play live shows, like our mates from Toiti and stuff, they know that line very well and they know the song very well. So having them sing that back to us is like, the three of us sat there and we're like, what's gonna work here? What's gonna work? And then having those people sing it back to us, we're like, wow, that's for me is really cool. Yeah.
Bro, what do you enjoy most about working with Joel and Eric?
I don't know. I'm going to start with Joel, because I'm going to spot individual things here. Cool. So the cool thing about working with Joel is like myself growing up, I always knew he played drums throughout primary school and high school. And then now to be in a band and gel with him is amazing, because he does drums, I do bass, so technically we're the rhythm section, and that's always been, I think, rhythm section, fist bump, screw you guys on harmony, we play, bro, we're the band. So it's we've always just had this gnarly camaraderie of a brotherhood, and the same thing goes for Eric. He's always been the ringleader, because he's slightly a bit older than us. So whether it was back in the day with our skate crew or our little misfit crew, Eric was always the one that's follow me, let's go do this. And that's what I love about being in a band with him, is because growing up he was always the leader, but at the same time he was on our level, like a true leader should be. He's not above you, he's not on the side, he's with you in the mess. And now to be in a band with him, it's truly honoring to be next to him, and him showing us the way, him helping me out, and then us helping him out. So it's there's only positives, besides I think tardiness. We struggle with tardiness a bit. That's the only negative. But just being in a band with your best friends, and not having to get to know them through music, but having to get to know them through life, I think that's beautiful, and I think it makes the music a lot more better because everybody's emotions intact and everybody just knows what you're thinking, kind of. So yeah, it's just been too awesome with these guys.
That's really cool. Eric, what do you enjoy most about working with your drummer and your bassist?
Yeah, I mean, with Joel, it's just been awesome experience working with him. I mean, seeing him grow from playing very simple beats when I used to play the acoustic guitar, now to becoming where he is, the most vibiest drummer ever. All my friends and mates are like, hey, that guy on the drums, he makes your band. He just makes the vibe. And I'm like, yeah, I know for sure. There's a lot of other drummers out there that are really good, but they just don't have that, that vibe where you can see they're really amped to get through the songs and that. And I mean, also with Ricky, I mean, teaching him bass and seeing him come so far, it's just been an amazing experience. But I think for myself personally, I used to write a lot of the songs by myself and then bring them to the band and then have an idea of what I wanted them to sound like. But now I've realized that Joel and Ricky are very different. So when I bring a song, I'm like, so what do you guys think? And then I take their take on it. And I mean, that song Suitcase we all wrote together. That's one of the best songs we've written. So I think I need to take that approach in the future where it's more of a collective group than just an individual writing a song and saying, okay, play it like this, you do that. But I mean, yeah, I think we're learning a lot about each other. Obviously, there's still a lot to work on. And I mean, you can never stop learning about each other. But I think so far we've come quite a long way, and it's just been, I mean, it's awesome working with them. I wouldn't want anyone else in the band. We're always like, oh, we should have another guitarist in just to fill it up, or another vocalist, but we're like, oh, but they just wouldn't.
On the back of your head, you're like, that's a bad idea. I don't know if I'm going to gel with this guy.
Yeah, flip, and what is next for you guys as a band? Last question. What is next? I mean, you guys have already hit, some heights, some crazy ass heights, and so one can only imagine, what you guys sort of see for yourselves in the future. So, what is it that comes, here onwards for you guys as a band?
I think we really need to get a song on radio as well. Yeah, like one of the biggest stations, 5FM East Coast Radio. If they could play our music, that would help us reach a lot more fans, a lot more people who might actually be like, yo, who is this band? I would have never listened to them before if I wasn't listening to the radio right now. Another thing that is like one of our dreams, and like we've been trying for the last couple of years now, Splashy, if you're listening, fucking book us.
Please, we come every year. We buy tickets every year. We've been going for like the past 5 years since we were allowed to by our parents. You can go now. So we would love to play there. Not main stage, river stage, please. Just so we can have a better crowd interaction. But please, I'm begging.
Sweet. No, guys, it's really been awesome. In closing, what track of yours would you guys allow us to sort of play out with, and why that particular track?
I don't know, Eric. Boss man.
Rig leader.
I think at the moment we would like Light Up. It's on Apple Music and Spotify, only because we're still playing it live. Wait and Midnight Youth, the other songs that were on YouTube, we kind of play every now and then. But Light Up is a real crowd pleaser, and the crowds love that song, so I think that would be relevant to who we are as a band.
It's probably our most polished release as well to date, yeah.
The two are a little bit scrappy, if I might add.
Hey guys, once again, thank you for coming through to the podcast. Really appreciate it. Guys, you're going to catch this episode on iTunes and also on SoundCloud as well. On SoundCloud, we are Sludge Underground. On iTunes, we are Sludge Underground Podcast. Facebook, Sludge Underground. And on Twitter, @Sludge31. On Instagram, @Sludge Underground. And then also email address. This is so much. So email address, if you guys want to get in touch with us, let us know how things are going. So it's at sludgeunderground@gmail.com. Once again, guys, it's been South Wolves. Joel, Ricky, Eric, thank you guys for coming through once again. And we're going to be closing out with Light Up. All the best with tonight's show with Desmond. And yeah. Sweet, bro. And
broke my podcast virginity, bro. So stoked.
Wait, epic, guys. Please enjoy. It's what did you guys say? It's Light Up. Lights up. Wait, epic, guys. Enjoy. Sweet.
That was